Thank you.
我唔該望一望呢邊啦。
我望望呢邊。
唔該望呢邊啊，後邊啊，唔該。
For the TV cameras, please.
OK。
好，唔該晒。我哋開始之前咧，我簡單講解一下今日嘅流程啦。咁我哋今日有兩位講者嘅，第一位咧係我哋嘅項目及工程學院總監陳偉豪先生 ，MGR Cap 第二位講者咧就係我哋嘅屯門南延線及洪水橋站項目經理林偉德先生。咁一陣我哋先會請阿 Carl 咧簡介一下我哋嘅新鐵路項目今年嘅進度，跟住落嚟咧，阿 Water 咧就會講解一下洪水橋站呢一個項目嘅。兩位講解完之後咧，我哋會有一個 Q&A。咁 Q&A 完咗之後，答問完咗之後咧，我哋安排咗專車就會咧，你哋再打。一齊去洪水橋站嘅工地嘅，咁呢個工地嘅範圍有限嘅，咁所以大家有租車嘅話咧，咁都請佢哋咧就稍後喺元朗站嗰度接翻嚟嘅，因為咧我哋跟住嘅車咧完咗洪水橋站嘅工地嘅拍攝之後咧，就會將大家咧就送到去元朗站嘅，咁元朗站第一個站，跟住我哋再紅磡站嘅，咁我哋啲同事咧一陣咧會帶大家一齊上車㗎，好嘛？Okay, so Carl, please. 咁首先我哋先請Carl 就先俾一個簡介大家先。
Good morning, everyone. Since 2023, MTR has started to take forward a series of new railway projects. We are fully committed to undertaking these projects to grow new communities, like the different new development areas in the northern metropolis and the new town extension in Tung Chung, and better connect existing communities in Tung Chung and Chunmun South. These projects are expected to complete between 2027 and 2034. Upon operation, we will further extend the reach of the Hong Kong railway network, facilitating the growth of these communities and a smart city. We've embarked upon the construction stage of Tung Chung Extension, Chumman South Extension, Kutong Station and Oyster Bay Station since the middle of 2023. The construction of Hung Shui Kiu Station is expected to commence later this year, and the construction of the Northern Link is expected to start in 2025 upon completion of all the statutory processes. 2024 is the first full year of major construction of these projects. A series of major civil works have already commenced or are about to commence. On Lantau, at Oyster Bay Station, the cable diversion works are in progress and piling works are about to commence. For the Tung Chung line extension, 2 major works will start in the 4th quarter of this year, including turnout installation to divert the Tung Chung line tracks and tunnel construction using the tunnel boring machine technology to extend the existing Tung Chung line to the new Tung Chung West station. In the new territories, at Kutong Station, a large-scale excavation has already commenced in March of this year. At Hung Shui Kiu, a series of preparation works have been taking place for some time, including the removal of parapet works. And at Chumman South Extension, piling and foundation works along the Chumman River will commence shortly. All of these works are of key significance in laying a good foundation to ramp up for the civil works over the coming 2 to 3 years. Among these major civil works, 4 of them involve construction works on operating lines, which is a key feature of all of our new railway projects. It is important, while we're pushing forward these works as scheduled, that we have minimised the interruption to normal train services as far as practicable and make sure the trains operate safely at all times. The Oyster Bay Station is built alongside the existing Suho One depot. Construction works and operation of the depot have to take place at the same time. Large-scale advanced works are required, including bridges for cable diversion to vacate cabling space to enable us to commence the piling works. Built above the depot are the running tracks of the existing Tung Chung line on the Airport Express line. These bridges required careful planning and execution with multiple on-site and off-site trials to ensure the safe operation of both lines and the depot. As for the Tung Chung line extension, the existing Tung Chung tracks have to be diverted northward to create the space to construct the new Tung Chung East station. It involves many complex works, including the realignment of existing tracks. We've had to adjust the level, the angle, and the position of the track so that we can install turnouts and other equipment to connect the new Tung Chung East station to the existing Tung Chung line. During each non-traffic hour possession, we were only able to adjust the track by a few millimetres at a time. And since 2022, around 200 non-traffic hour possessions were used to complete the realignment of the up-track section. Kutong Station, which is located between Lok Mai Chau and Chung Shui stations on the East Rail Line, is the first station to be built on top of a running railway tunnel. We need to unearth the East Rail Line tunnel box, which was built back during the construction of the Lok Mai Chau railway line, which is at a depth of about 20 metres, which is equivalent to being 6 stories below ground. To maintain the stability of the tunnel structures for safe train operations, the excavation works has to be done layer by layer. Over 200 monitoring sensors have been installed along the 500-metre length section of the tunnel, allowing us to closely monitor the water pressure and the tunnel condition with an accuracy to the nearest micrometre. Hung Shui Kiu is located between Tin Shui Wai and Su Hong stations on the Chun Ma line, and it's the first station to be added to an operating viaduct. Cutting and removing 140 pieces of parapet wall at height on the viaduct while keeping the railway operational takes complexity to a whole new level. Walter will provide more details on this later. With such complex works around the operating railways, our project team will ensure a smooth implementation through the robust project management for a brownfield work environment, through maximising the use of golden 2 hours, through planning to protect the safety of the railway, timely commencement of preparation works to get us ready for the main construction works, and apply technologies to enhance quality and efficiency of the works. The MTR network operates on average about 19 hours daily, leaving 4 to 5 hours long non-traffic hours. Yet there are only what we call the golden 2 hours for construction and maintenance works, as time is needed for mandatory track clearance, protection setup, tests and checks to ensure the railway can safely operate the next morning. Normally, we only have 2 to 3 nights per week for construction works, as we must allow sufficient time slots for maintenance works as well. In view of the limited time, we exhaustively reviewed the possibility of maximising the nighttime working hours. For works which are more critical and complex and have to take place for consecutive hours longer than the golden 2 hours, it will be inevitable that train service hours may have to be adjusted in certain circumstances. Nothing is more important than ensuring the safety of the railway when carrying out construction works on or within 30 metres of the operating line in the zone, in what we call the railway protection zone. Before construction, the team gets all the parties involved early in the planning and design stage to formulate comprehensive work plans and make sure that the construction methods comply with the stringent railway protection requirements. Minute-by-minute execution plans, multiple off-site and on-site trials and tests are involved, even for small-scale works like lifting overhead line portals. During construction, detailed execution and monitoring is fundamental to ensure the stability of existing railway structures, like the tunnel monitoring system we deployed in the Kutong Station project. For works during NTH hours, like the overhead line portal lifting mentioned earlier, some railway systems, such as the overhead line power, must be cut off for safety reasons. When we reinstate the system, we conduct tests and checks every time to ensure it is safe and intact for operation to start the next day. To allow space for construction, while maintaining railway operations, some essential trackside facilities will have to be relocated, reinstalled or modified before the main construction works commence. To make sure our overall construction work commences according to schedule, we have to plan and carry out some works early. We have just completed assembly of the cable bridges at Oyster Bay Station, relocation of noise barrier alongside the Chungcheong Line Railway for the Chungcheong Line Extension project, modification of trackside facilities at Hung Shui Kyu. There will be more of these works as we go forward, and we're working hard to complete all of these preparation works in a timely and smooth manner. We keep exploring and applying innovation and new technology at all stages in our project delivery life cycle. Building information modelling to preview and visualise work procedures, design for manufacturing assembly, modular integrated construction to prefabricate components off-site and minimise on-site construction, and other technologies on-site to enhance safety, quality and progress monitoring. These are initiatives that Walter and all our project managers are deploying in their teams to manage these complex projects. I'll now pass the time to Walter to share with you his hands-on first-person experience of delivering the Hung Shui Kyu project. Walter.
Thank you, Carl.
各位傳媒朋友，早晨。喺我開始之前咧，我想問大家個問題：有冇同事朋友喺屋企做過裝修？應該都有啊。大家做裝修嘅時候點做啊？係咪買層新樓翻嚟，跟住我哋叫裝修師傅入嚟，裝修好晒、乾淨晒、靚仔晒啦，咁我哋就搬入去住？又或者你中間要裝修嘅時候，係咪會搬離個屋企一陣？譬如話3個月、5個月、6個月，當裝師傅做好啦，咁你先搬翻嚟。如果唔係，你會唔會係朝早翻工之後叫師傅入嚟做裝修，跟住你放工翻嚟嘅時候叫師傅清場、朝行晚拆而去完成個裝修呢？其實我哋喺現有鐵路行車嘅鐵路上面做一個新加嘅工程或者新嘅項目，就等於我哋喺屋企裝修。晏晝我哋叫師傅入嚟做嘢，夜晚佢要清翻個場，俾我哋去住、生活、食飯。咁所以個困難係極之高。咁譬如洪水橋站 為例，佢係第一個我哋喺現有鐵路上面嘅高架橋嘅一個高架車站。咁佢位置其實咧就會喺兆康現有嘅兆康站啦，同埋天水圍站嘅中間。咁佢第時咧就會就可以俾一個乘車嘅轉接咧，就俾咗洪水橋下村同埋新發展區嘅新住客。今日成我哋喺2021年咧已經展開咗呢個公眾諮詢啦，同埋初步嘅設計嘅。咁我哋啱啱喺今年嘅3月份咧就獲得行會批准呢個項目。咁我哋而家就開始緊呢個深化嘅設計啦。咁我哋而家計劃係喺2030年竣工，咁可以咧就啱啱配合到新發展區嘅居民首批搬入嘅時間。咁可持續發展係我哋重要嘅一環啦。其實因為我見到咧，我哋洪水橋站咧將會有好多嘅自然採光啦。所以我哋同埋一啲我哋見到呢把咧，我哋叫做高流量低轉速嘅風扇。咁我哋咧暫時已經係攞咗呢個暫定嘅環評設計嘅金獎。嗱，呢個咧就係洪水橋站嘅切面圖。咁大家見到咧呢一個嘅高架橋，當然兩架車度啦。咁同埋呢一個位置咧，就係我哋現有嘅洪水橋行緊車嘅一個結構嚟嘅。咁我哋第時咧就會將喺兩邊咧，將個站嘅月台同埋結構加埋其他啲機電嘅安裝咧，就會盡量利用呢個預製件同埋組合安裝式嘅建築法，將佢砌埋去，盡量減少對現有列車服務嘅影響。其實我頭先我哋成日話黃金2小時，咁究竟係點解會2小時咧？大家知道我哋列車服務咧，每一日大約係19至20個鐘嘅。咁一日24個鐘，你減咗20個鐘咧，咁仲有4個鐘。咁點解我哋話成日黃金2小時，仲有2個鐘去咗邊咧？其實嗰2個鐘咧，就係我哋事前工作之前嘅一種準備嘅功夫，同埋我哋事後咧，我哋要清理翻個場地，同埋我哋喺最後開站之前咧，我哋嘅站長嗰邊咧，會做一個最後嘅檢查，確保鐵路係安全營運。咁所以我哋嘅工作時間咧，每晚只得2小時。而頭先阿 Carl 講過啦，2小時入邊，我哋一個禮拜咧應該係得2至3晚嘅時間，因為我哋仲要同其他嘅維修啦，同埋一啲檢測嘅團隊咧，我哋要喺一個禮拜時間咧，我哋要分配我哋嘅工作時間。咁其實我哋睇翻啦，頭先我講過啦，每個禮拜係4至6個鐘頭。咁但係我哋對比翻，如果一個正常普通嘅工地唔係喺一個營運鐵路附近做嘅工地咧，我哋由朝7晚7有12個鐘頭，每一日12個鐘嘅話，乘翻6咧，我哋有72個小時工作。咁佢對比翻咧，我哋大約只係得1/12嘅工作時間嘅啫。咁所以時間係一個好大嘅挑戰。咁由於時間係一個咁大嘅挑戰咧，我哋有少少準備嘅工程咧，喺洪水橋主結構工程開工之前咧，我哋做咗啲準備功夫嘅。咁包括咗乜嘢咧？包括咗我哋先咧要將嗰個高架電纜有啲改建啦。我哋要將一啲現有喺高架橋嘅現有嘅設施嘅基建設施咧，我哋要改咗個位置啦。咁我哋要加固咗個圍欄啦，因為現有嘅圍欄啦，因為我哋遲啲咧會將洪水橋嘅護欄會拆一部分，陣間我會解釋多少少。咁所以我係喺拆個護欄之前咧，我哋一個圍牆做翻好啦，同埋相應嘅一啲照明設施啦，同埋指示牌咧，我哋都要做好咗先嘅。頭先我講過啦，我點解要將部分嘅現有嘅圍欄拆咗，或者我叫界走啦？其實主要就因為頭先我講呢個係現有嘅高架橋啦。咁因為呢一個位置咧，就啱啱咧就阻住咗未來車站嘅月台嘅結構，所以我哋必須爭取時間情況之下咧，我哋要將佢移除。咁就等我哋第時正式開工嘅時候咧，將主體結構做嘅時候咧，就可以褪埋佢啦。咁呢個移除咧，主要有5個步驟嘅。咁我哋首先要搭幾個工作台啦。咁呢個就係我哋嘅工作平台，我哋將會擺一部界機喺上面嘅。咁當然啦，我哋界完之後咧，我哋有一個臨時嘅維護部分嘅維護嘅支撐結構，將嗰個界出嚟嘅護欄安全咁鞏固，維護翻嘅原個位置。咁我哋界嘅時候咧，我哋會做翻一個隔音屏，因為始終我哋喺夜晚工作，咁我哋都希望唔好影響到我哋市民瞓覺。 咁真係做動工嘅時候咧，我哋要切割啦。咁我哋就引入咗香港第一部比較個外形比較細少少，同埋比較噪音比較低嘅一部界機。咁我哋香港第一部嘅。咁最後我哋當然係簡單地我哋將佢移走啦。咁但係大家唔好忽略移走嘅部分，因為每一塊嘅圍欄嘅護欄係大約2.5噸。咁我同事問我朋友問：呢2.5噸即係幾多啊？大約係重過一部的士啦，一部的士大約係2公噸。咁佢比的士更加重。咁我哋總共咧要界140塊同一樣嘅護欄。咁全程兩邊上下行車咧係400米嘅。咁總重量係大約350公噸，即係我哋要移走350架的士嘅重量。咁當然啦，頭先我講過啦，因為佢咁重，所以我移走都要特別小心啦，同埋我哋要保護翻現有鐵路嘅設施啦。咁我哋有條片咧就俾大家睇睇，我哋當日係將第一塊護欄移走嘅情況。咁其實同樣嘅吊運嘅動作咧，我哋喺事前已經係演練過好多次。我哋要確保一步到位。當我哋移走嗰陣時，我哋唔容許任何差錯。同樣地，我哋做咗一個喺真正我哋界嗰個護欄嘅時候咧，我哋係做咗一個1比1嘅模型喺地面。我哋將一個嗰個切割機咧係預演咗好多次。確保我哋當日真係界上面第一塊嘅時候係唔可以任何差錯。我哋可以睇睇，呢個就係我哋當時喺地面預演嘅一個片段嚟嘅。咁其實除咗我哋界呢一塊嘅時候咧，仲有好多工序咧，我哋都會係做咗好多次預演嘅。例如呢一個我哋陣間落工地會見到嘅係一個比較大型嘅一個鋼結構支撐嘅一個工作平台，而我哋喺廠嘅時候咧，喺內地咧，亦都係練習咗點樣將佢拉動。我哋會關注翻個風速啦，佢行嘅速度啦，同埋成個結構嘅穩定性。好啦，咁呢條片咧，我哋陣間會睇到咧，我哋喺個我哋叫做蒙古包啦，其實有一個頭先我講過啦，有一個叫做隔音屏障嘅入邊。我哋用手機拍咗段好幾秒鐘嘅短片，俾大家感受下喺入邊嗰個界機嘅一個動作。咁啱啱就係界完嗰一下，最後嗰5秒鐘嚟嘅就呢個。咁大家就嘗試感受下喺出邊聽到幾多聲？相對係靜咗好多，因為個隔音就係發揮到作用。咁好啦，我講咗咁耐，可能大家都對成個洪水橋站呢個前期嘅工程或者嘅準備工作都未必話好了解，因為係比較複雜。咁不如大家睇睇條片，可能會對成個洪水橋站更加多嘅認識。
為配合洪水橋下村未來發展，港鐵公司將會喺屯馬線上興建洪水橋站。車站將坐落於現時屯馬線天水圍站同兆康站之間，係全港首個喺營運中嘅鐵路高架橋上興建嘅車站。為騰出地方興建新車站，部分喺原有位置上嘅設施需要重置。興建時亦要遵守環境、消防安全等相關嘅規定，並同鄰近持份者保持溝通。點樣喺運作緊嘅屯馬線上面興建新車站呢？屯馬線每日運作超過19小時，年中無休。為盡量減低對鐵路日常運作嘅影響，團隊就要把握好晚上非行車時間，同翌日開車前嘅黃金2小時進行工程。喺高架橋上開工前，我哋要喺施工現場進行一系列嘅準備工作，例如工程人員就位、設置好相關工程設備等，一切準備就緒，先可以開始當晚工程。到咗清晨約4點，即係頭班車開車前約1小時，必須清理施工現場，妥善分隔施工同營運範圍，復原鐵路行車設施，交翻俾營運團隊進行檢查同營運屯馬線。由於屯馬線日常維修工作都係利用黃金2小時呢個時段進行， 因此日常維修同興建新車站嘅工作時間表要互相協調。每星期只有個別晚上可以進行建站嘅工程，而每晚可以用嘅時間有限，能夠完成嘅工序亦唔多，大大增加咗工程嘅難度。整項洪水橋站建造工程一啲都唔簡單。喺屯馬線高架橋上進行嘅主要工程包括調整架空電纜接駁位置、遷移現有路軌旁嘅機電設備、加裝臨時護欄、照明系統同方向指示牌、移除現有高架橋護牆嘅上半部分等等。至於組裝車站主體方面，首先要建造車站地基，再將車站主體嘅預製組件運載到預定位置，並以組裝合成法興建車站結構。車站主體建成之後，就會進行裝修、安裝站內設施同各項機電工程。洪水橋站同其他新建車站一樣，都採用咗可持續建築設計，令車站可以融入社區，為乘客帶嚟低碳乘車體驗，同時為市民提供更便捷嘅公共交通服務，進一步推動地區發展。新鐵路建設無限未來。
跟住落嚟咧就會係答問嘅環節啦。咁麻煩大家咧想發問之前咧舉一舉手，咁亦都係講出你代表嘅機構啦，同埋你自己嘅名稱，好嘛？好 ，Carl and Walter please。好，各位請隨便發問。白色恤衫我。
兩位早晨啊 ，TVB 啊，首先想請教翻咧，其實就住而家見到移除咗嗰個高架橋個護牆之後咧，我見到條片有講話即係裝翻個臨時嘅一個護欄啦，所以我想請教其實因為而家都開始即係準備可能風季雨季啦，而家有冇評估過即係如果拆咗個原本個護欄？對個列車經過嗰度個安全或者啲外來物會點樣即係處理，會唔會真係擋得到啦？另外就其實見到咧你哋港鐵另外都有啲工程，譬如觀塘線都會就住可能維護一啲工程咧，就暫時停咗佢一日咁樣。會唔會日後都有需要即係可能就住屯馬線呢一段都需要暫停呢個行車嗰個即係一啲服務時間去即係去加快嗰個工程咁樣啦？另外就係想問翻即係其餘其他項目咧，除咗屯馬線之外，係咪都即係盡量可以確保到喺嗰個施工日期內完成到咁樣，會唔會再 delay 咧 ？Thank you。
咁不如我先請Walter 答咗第一個關於洪水橋嘅問題啦。The third question, Carl. Well, the second question is about, well, Kuntong Line has just recently announced the service adjustment. Will we consider similar arrangement for our project construction to expedite the process? And the third question is about, well, whether we expect that, well, all our coming projects will be able to deliver on time.
首先我入第一個問題先啦。其實安全咧，永遠都係我哋公司首要嘅任務嚟嘅。咁我哋每一個動作、每一個工序咧，都有好嚴格嘅審視同埋審批程序。咁譬如話護欄作一個例子咧，頭先同事問到護欄。咁其實個護欄咧，我哋喺設計上邊咧，已經係計算咗所有會發生嘅我哋叫 loading 啦。譬如話佢嘅風速啦，佢本身嘅穩定性啦，行車時候嘅震盪啦，我哋已經係全部計算在內。咁亦都每一個程序咧，我哋都有專業工程師，甚至乎第三方嘅工程師咧有審核嘅。
Thank you. So, reference the question on the Kuntong Line service disruption. As I said when I spoke, our first priority when we're delivering these projects is to ensure the safety of the operation of the railway at all times. When we're planning the works, we look at particularly these critical works in terms of how do we deliver them, how do we break them down. And we look to break down all our works to deliver them within the non-traffic hours as much as we can as far as reasonably practical. You will be aware that in our past, when we were delivering construction projects, the bifurcation works on the Jamal line at Hong Kong, we had extended closures to facilitate those works. We also, when we did full line testing before we brought the Cross Harbour line into the service, we also needed some longer time than the golden 2 hours. So there will be likely certain circumstances in the new projects going forward where similar things will need to be considered. We'll only do them if it's absolutely necessary. We'll also make sure, and we always will do this, that if we're considering this, we'll advise people well in advance. In terms of the third question,
when are we going to deliver all projects on time?
The answer to that is, of course, look, we've spent a lot of time planning for these new projects. As I said, our first priority is to make sure we deliver these projects, maintaining the safety of the operational railway at all times. But the project teams are working very hard to deliver the projects on time and within our budgets. We have got very strong project management processes in place. We've got very rigid cost control procedures in place, and everyone is focused on delivering the projects to meet the commitments we've made and the timelines that have been announced to the public.
好，下一個問題啊。
唔該，香港電台有兩個問題。首先想問下咧，即係想簡單可唔可以講下，其實今次洪水橋站最大嘅分別就係同其他新站嘅分別咧，就係因為係已經係有一個車行緊嘅情況之下，同其他新站最大嘅分別喺邊度？同最大嘅困難，即係去興建新站嘅困難喺邊度咧？另外都想問下啦，即係其實你哋後面都有一個即係嚟緊一啲新線嘅發展啦。想問下，即係好多線都有提到啦，但係北環線好似講嘅唔係咁多。其實喺一個前期工程嚟講，會唔會即係喺嗰個勘探啊，或者其他各樣啊，有冇啲咩嘅進展可以講下？唔該。
譬如都係 Water 先講解下洪水橋其實我哋頭先講洪水橋站應該唔係唯一一個喺行走中嘅鐵路線上起嘅，係。
其實洪水橋站唔係唔係唯一一個喺我哋行走鐵路上面起嘅車站。咁譬如古洞站啦，咁但係佢嘅主要嘅分別就係古洞站係一個地面站啦。咁佢下邊咧就係行緊車嘅東鐵線啦。咁洪水橋站咧就係香港唯一一個我哋將喺現有高架橋嘅上面起一個高架車站。咁其實大家明白高架就係佢本身喺高架橋上面，所以完成之後咧佢都會一個高架車站。咁而最大嘅挑戰就係頭先佢講過啦，因為我哋只係有黃金2小時，咁好大部分嘅工序咧，我哋都需要喺收嘅車，我哋叫 NTH， 即係 non-traffic hours， 咁嗰2個鐘頭入邊咧，去做我哋必須要做嘅工作。咁而我哋可以將大部分嘅工序分拆咗，令到佢分拆細嘅工序，可以喺行車時間，即係我晏晝嗰12個鐘入邊可以做準備工作，我哋嗰個時間做。剩餘嘅必須要係收咗車之後做嘅，我哋就爭取嗰2個鐘頭，所以時間係同埋一個要保護翻現有鐵路嘅安全，同埋確保第2日朝早4點鐘我哋可以完成我哋嘅工序，而5點半鐘我哋可以安全地通車，呢個係我哋最大嘅挑戰。
唔好意思，都想補充，有冇一啲困難係你哋開始咗工程之後先發現要去克服？
暫時我哋未睇到，因為我哋喺設計階段啦，好早期嘅時候咧已經有非常詳細嘅規劃啦，同埋我哋有一個嘅風險評估啦。咁我哋每一個工序咧都分析得比較詳細。咁我哋已經預計咗我哋可能預見到嘅最高風險嘅一個情況咧，我哋都有一個做咗個審視啦，同埋我哋都有個相應嘅一個緊急措施咧。如果真係有咩事發生，我哋會點樣做，已經係喺我哋嘅計劃入邊嘅啦，其實。
補充一個就洪水橋站未開始正式工程嘅嚇，我哋而家啲係準備工程嘅。The second question, Carl, we have talked about the 4 projects that have already commenced construction and also Hong Kong project. What about NOL, the progress of it? Whether there is any advance work planned or taking place?
There will be advanced works that we're taking place on Northern Link. We, as part of agreeing the Kuton project, we agreed with government that we would take certain advanced works to advance the preparation works for Northern Link. We're currently working through the statutory approval processes, and as I said, we're anticipating that they will complete in the early part of next year, and that construction of Northern Link is targeted to commence early part of next year as well.
唔該晒，咁下一個好間條生。
係
Hi, so two questions from RTHK about the Hong Shui Kiu station. So could you recap in English, what's the biggest difficulty of building this new station on an operating viaduct? And you also said that the actual work hasn't actually started, so you're preparing to, yeah. So when will the actual work start for the station? Thank you.
I think one of the biggest challenge of Hong Shui Kiu is the time that we have very limited working hours, like we mentioned that the golden 2 hours. We try to minimize the works that we have to work on that golden 2 hours, but doing lots of preparation during the daytime. What I mean is the traffic hours, and when necessary, we have to work on that golden 2 hours during the not NTH, what I meant is the non-traffic hours. Because of very limited time that we can very likely can get 2 nights to 3 nights in a week. And that's why the most challenging is the time. And we have to manage making sure the safety and the full operation on the next morning. So we get to clear up everything around 4 o'clock and return the track or the works area to the operator. And then they will do the final checking before operation the next morning. I think your second question is about we're targeting to do the actual work this year.
Sorry, could you actually describe the difficulty of operating on a viaduct? Because the 2 golden hours is actually the same across the network.
Yeah. Obviously, it's the working at height because it's about like 10, 11 meters above ground. So like you can see from my presentation previously that we have a massive high-level working platform. And apart from that, we don't want to touch anything on top. What I mean the existing utilities, the existing overhead line. That's why with some of the works we have to do an NTH during that golden 2 hours because we have to turn off the power. We don't want to touch the overhead line, and that's a very high risk in terms of the doing the construction as well as affecting the operator on the next day.
我哋不如最後一個提問啦，睇下仲有冇好。
Good morning. Some questions from the South China Morning Post. First, do you have any funding pressure? Like how much money do all the new projects cost? How do you fund these projects? Second, how many construction workers do you need? Will you consider importing labor and from where? And which type of labor do you need the most? Thank you.
So the first question on funding. So we finance the projects through the rail and property ownership model that is in place. So in all the projects that we have agreed so far, that we talked about the 4 projects that are ongoing, we've agreed a funding envelope with government. When we announced the projects, the details of the funding envelope was announced alongside them. And we work very hard to deliver our projects within our budget. In terms of workforce, we anticipate that across the projects that are already ongoing and the future projects that there will be in excess of 20,000 construction jobs generated on these projects. So far, I mean, in terms of engaging sort of importing labour, the import labour scheme is something that is in place in Hong Kong. It's across all construction projects. All the contractors who work for us, if they need additional labour or are looking to bring in labour from mainland, are able to apply for a quota. I believe that some of them have applied for a quota. So if we need to import labour, we will import labour. We'll follow the system that's in place. That's the same system that works on all construction projects in Hong Kong.
不如仲有冇最後一個問題？
兩位你好啊，商報嘅，咁想問翻就係、即係睇過一啲新聞咧，就話嗰個洪水橋站咧就有設計同研究咧係進行咗，咁啊除咗即係把每晚或者係每個星期2至3晚都有羅金2小時做工程之外咧，咁就想問翻佢嗰個確實日子動工日期係幾多？同埋咧就根據翻即係政府向立法會提供資料，個車站咧係41億啦，咁就會去到2030年喺度，咁擔唔擔心會超支呢個造價？唔該。
我哋預計嘅動工日期係今年嘅嚇， 咁關於錢方面，其實我哋有一系列嘅措施啦，我哋會喺成個工程過程入邊咧，會審視我哋嘅工程嘅費用啦，同埋整個工程嘅造價嘅。
好，唔該晒各位。咁簡報會咧就喺呢度完㗎啦，跟住落嚟咧就請大家準備一下，我哋會有同事咧就帶大家咧係上車，我哋跟住就會落工地㗎啦。唔該晒。Thank you, Carl.
我唔得張卡㗎。唔係啊，我就係冇衰㗎，點解啊？尋晚掹咗張卡出嚟，跟住唔記得咗。